Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We need to talk about Afghanistan.
Pearson Sharp.
The situation in Afghanistan has fallen apart almost overnight, faster than anyone thought possible. All the gains that we made in the last 20 years were wiped out literally within hours. Veterans who fought there, sacrificed there, watched their friends die right in front of them. Families who lost their sons, lost their brothers, their husbands, and not just Americans either. Innocent Afghanis who saw their lives and everything they knew utterly obliterated are now watching everything they sacrificed for totally erased. And all because we have a commander-in-chief, and I use that term in the loosest possible sense, who doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Does anyone actually think Joe Biden is in charge at this point, that he's the one running the show? He can't put two sentences together, and we're supposed to believe he's making these kinds of high-level policy decisions? He's not allowed to answer questions. He's literally come out and said that he's been told not to discuss this or that. And just the other day, when a reporter from NBC asked him a question about Afghanistan, the White House actually cut off his microphone. And now, because of his staggering incompetence, at least 60 Afghan civilians and 13 U.S. service members have lost their lives. Another 18 were wounded. These casualties fall directly at his feet. His and whoever is actually calling the shots behind the scenes. And I'm not taking cheap shots at Biden here. It is absolutely necessary that he receive the full blame for this catastrophe, because if we try to shift the focus here and make excuses for his incompetence, more lives are going to be lost. Biden has no grip on reality and should never have been put in charge of an operation like this, to say nothing of the rest of the country. And it's worse than most corporate news outlets are reporting, because Biden's sudden withdrawal actually handed the Taliban terrorists our HIDE system, the handheld interagency identity detection equipment. Basically, we pulled out of the U.S. Embassy so fast, it was too fast to destroy all the sensitive materials that we had there, so we left behind the database for everyone in Afghanistan who worked with the United States. We gave the Taliban a hit list, essentially with all the names of everyone who helped us. Plus, we gave them state-of-the-art military equipment, including more Black Hawk helicopters than 85% of the countries in the world. Biden also left these terrorists 300 times more guns than what Obama gave to the Mexican cartels with his disastrous Fast and Furious program. Not to mention the pallets piled high with $100 bills that the Taliban have been posing with online. And this catastrophe is coming to our shores, too. The White House is already talking about bringing 50 to 100,000 Afghan migrants here to America. Totally unvetted. No way of knowing who they are. Undoubtedly, there are Taliban members with them, because why wouldn't there be? Of course, we can't forget the role Pakistan played in all of this, supporting and harboring Taliban extremists all these years. But that's a topic for another video. It's impossible to overstate what a cataclysmic humiliation this is for the United States. William Maley on Free West Media pointed out that this is similar to the Suez Crisis for Britain in 1956, which was really the final nail in the coffin for the United Kingdom as a serious global power. For over a century, the U.S. has been a bedrock of support for our allies around the world. But if we can just up and pull the rug out from under them without a moment's notice, why would they put their faith in us? Why not put their faith in, say, China with their lucrative Belts and Roads initiative? Again, Biden had absolutely no business making these kinds of decisions. He never has. Why should he start now when he's clearly mentally compromised? He's got no relevant experience, and he's been wrong on every foreign policy issue he's ever been involved with since the 1970s. And that includes his cheerleading for the invasion of Iraq in 2003. And despite everything, now it looks like we'll have to go back into Afghanistan again. You might remember Leon Panetta, the former head of the CIA, in 2009. He's gone on record saying that now Biden is going to have to send in more troops, and not just drones, to avenge the deaths in Kabul. He was advocating for a forever war again, essentially, which is why we were over in Afghanistan in the first place. It wasn't about freedom or democracy. It was about defense contractors and trillions of dollars in sweet, sweet federal funding. If you're Raytheon or Boeing or Lockheed Martin, what's spending a few million on lobbyists or padding the pockets of senators when you can expect to make trillions building bombs to kill thousands of innocent farmers in a country halfway around the world that no American can even find on a map? Sure, we killed some terrorists along the way. The same terrorists the CIA spent billions funding and arming in the first place. It's one big circle. You gotta feed the beast. The military-industrial complex is a bottomless pit. And if we aren't careful, it's not just going to consume Afghanistan. It'll end up devouring America as well.